Alrighty. What's up, everybody? My peeps. What's going on, you sexy bitches and all you other pieces of garbage? It is I, your trouble god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a beautiful Thursday afternoon video right here on the home of all things reigning, the very motherfucking legend. Very fucking legendary, home of all things reigning, the one, the only, PG Rant channel. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit that subscribe button down there in hell, otherwise known as the mark below, otherwise known as my pants. So subscribe to the channels right now. Leave a like on the video. Stick that thumb straight up the wahoo-hoo. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment on the video if you want. But if you leave stupid comments, you're going to get sent to the shadow realm where Satan will eat your soul. So please do not do that. Don't be a dick. If you want to be a dick, do it on your dead channel that nobody watches. People watch my channel. I might be a dick, and I got a big one. Thank you very much, because your mom and girlfriend know about that. That's why they're in my DMs. But I digress. But in any case, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on the video if you like. You don't have to, but if you want to, like I say, follow the rules. And if you can't follow simple rules, then you should not be on here. And that's that. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything. Because if you do, you need to get slapped in the face with a barbed wire exploding bat. Because you're SOL, and you know what that means. I don't even think I need to tell you. But if you don't know, look it up. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. And for our first-time viewers, welcome to the party, pal! We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab that cold one. I don't have one at the moment, but if I did, it'll be in this or whatever I have. But whatever you have, sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. Like I said before, if you like it, great. You know, get out of here. You can pretty much kiss my ass. My rosy red ass, Mahoney. And that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on this beautiful, warm, spring-like day, Thursday afternoon, May the 8th, 2025. We're coming up on Mother's Day weekend, so hopefully you bought something for your mom by now. If not, you're gonna get cursed out by your mama. And that's pretty much it. I already bought my stuff, so I'm happy with that. But anyway, nice warm day here in the Northeast. Gonna be raining like cats and dogs here later. And tomorrow gonna be a big, humongous washout. So I'm not really doing anything tomorrow besides working. But you know, we got that. And then I got a pretty busy weekend, and lots of stuff going on. And I'll pretty much be busy through Saturday and most of Sunday, and that's pretty much it. But whatever you're doing this weekend, be safe, be well, and enjoy. And that's probably it. But on this great Thursday afternoon, right here on the PG Rant channel, I haven't done a rant in God knows how long. I think the last one I did was about Gail Kim getting unceremoniously fired by those idiots at TNA. So check that out. But this rant, and I hope you bought some popcorn. You know, I followed wrestling for 40-some-odd years, 40-something long years, pretty much all my life. And I've seen it come and go. Wrestlers and with the steroid scandal, with all this other bullshit that's been going on in the world of professional wrestling. And all the people that have been involved in the scandals, like Vince McMahon and, you know, Hogan and everybody else. It just comes and goes. It's if you pay the price, you know, for the territory and all that shit. You know, and I've been a wrestling fan since the early 80s. You know, when it was a little bitty hulkster dude. You know, and I grew up with guys like Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage and, you know, Roddy Piper and people like that. And, speaking of the hulkster, brother, I grew up with this guy back when I was a little bitty hulkster dude. I went to WrestleMania 1, at the Garden with my pops and everything, taking me to WrestleMania 1. Went to WrestleMania 3 with one of my school buddies. Went to the Nassau Mausoleum, the old Nassau Mausoleum, to watch, not see, but watch WrestleMania 3 when it was on closed circuit TV, before the birth of pay-per-view. That, WrestleMania 10 at the Garden, WrestleMania 20 at the Garden, SummerSlams at the Garden, Royal Rumbles at the Garden, Survivor Series at the Garden, blah, 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 blah. But, growing up in the 80s, I think everybody and their mother pretty much loved Hulk Hogan, brother. He was like, if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan, there would be no WWF, no WWE. The entire landscape of professional wrestling would not exist. Pretty much. But, when Hogan went to WCW, with the NWO, then coming back to the WWE, with the NWO for a brief period, and then he had his final run in WWE. I thought that was pretty much it, and then, he'll come back here and there, just to say hi. I mean, the last time we saw Hogan on WWE TV was basically the January 6th Netflix fiasco where he got booed out of the goddamn arena. Well, because he's good friends with Donald Trump. And all that other stuff. But in between that, he had a lot of bullshit that he had to put up with. He cheated on his wife Linda with, I think, one of Brooke's friends or one of her friends, whatever it was. They had that whole sex tape scandal with Bubba the Love Sponge's wife. That was a horrible, really put him in a really bad light. And even the porno was garbage anyway. Who wants to see Hulk Hogan's, not even 24-inch python, you know what I mean? Well, who wants to see that shit? I'm like, no. Nobody wants to see that. And then later on, he got involved with the whole racist scandal, calling people the N-word, and then really put, him in a really bad light. Lots of the African-American wrestlers, I don't want to have nothing to do with Hogan. And then Hogan had to do damage control, and then he went back to WWE and apologized for certain people, I think Mark Henry and a few other people. And then he was, kind of allowed back into the locker room area and, stuff like that. And then everybody labeled Hogan a racist because, he was listening to some rap, probably crap, basically. Mumble crap. So he went through that, and then really didn't hear much from Hogan, and then, everything started looking on the uppy up. But then about a week or so ago, he does this video, an NWO style video. He's there with Bischoff. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, oh, he's with Bischoff. He's like, oh, we're gonna take over the wrestling world. I'm like, oh, no, not another thing. Not Hogan's gonna get involved and he's gonna make his own wrestling promotion. Or he's gonna go. I was fearing for AEW's life. Tony Khan worked out a deal with Bischoff and Hogan, and Bischoff doesn't like Tony Khan anyway. But then again, God forbid, bygones let bygones be bygones, and then, hey, let's work together, why not? I was like, please don't let Hogan and Bischoff get into AEW, because they'll kill that, like they almost killed TNA about a decade ago. So, I was worried about there, but thankfully it was not meant to be, so he's like, oh, we're gonna shake the wrestling world, and our third man is gonna, is a badass. He's like a badass, and we're gonna rock the wrestling world. I was like, no, they didn't get involved with our Rock, did they? But then later on, it was announced that their third man, we thought it was the Rock. I was like, oh god, it's the Rock. Who cares? Really? thank God it wasn't The Rock. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, the third man is this guy. He's this schmuck basically from the MMA. And I'm like, oh, Hogan's getting into the MMA world now. Oh boy, who cares? So now and then, he's doing all this touring. He was in New York City recently, opened up a restaurant or some shit. And he was on like different TV shows, and this whole venture with him, Bischoff, and this third guy is Hulk Hogan's Real American Freestyle Wrestling. And I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna go well. This ain't going far at all. This ain't gonna even get launched. So I was like, this is stupid. So it was like another thing that Hogan, with the Real American beer, which really didn't sell much. Remember the Hulk Hogan pasta? Remember, what was it called? I forget what it was. I think it was like, I think it was just called Hulk pasta. I forget what it was called. But remember when Hogan, had his own pasta out, and it was at different restaurants, and it like tasted like shit. Not that I tasted it, but I heard stories that it wasn't that great. And then Hogan tried the George Foreman route, trying to make his own, burger grill and stuff like that. I'm like, that didn't work. I mean, the only thing that Hogan actually did right was, Hogan's Beach down in Florida. That's the only good thing that he has. I mean, lots of people go down to Florida. I think it's not Venice Beach, California, but down to Florida to visit Hulk Hogan's Bar and Grill, whatever it is, and Hogan's, basically Hogan's Beach, which is like a merchandise shop, and I think it's a restaurant or bar. And they have like karaoke. Sometimes Hogan will be there. Sometimes the Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart will be there. One of the Nasty Boys will be there, and there are various other people will be there. That's the only good thing that Hogan has done in the last like 15, 20 years. So anybody who actually thinks that this Real American Freestyle Wrestling venture that him and Bischoff and this other guy are launching is gonna go anywhere, you have problems. This ain't going nowhere. Not like his movie career. The only good movie he had was No Holds Barred. I'm sorry. You think Suburban Commando was good? Eh? No. And any other movie he was in was good? No. He wasn't good in anything. He was boring. No Holds Barred he was actually good in. It was the only good thing. Dookie, What's that smell? Dookie. That's the only good movie he was in, because it was him, I think Big Show, and Zeus. Well, Tiny Lester was Zeus, basically. Debo from Friday. You know him, you love him. But other than that, I mean, yeah, he was on probably one. I thought Thunder and Paddles was good back in the early 90s. Didn't last that long, but still, I thought it was great during his WCW run. I thought it was a great show. But that's just me. Then he ventured into the reality world with Hogan Knows Best, which turned into Brooke Knows Best, which didn't really last that many years, but, followed the Hogans around and all this other bullshit with Brooke trying her singing career, which went nowhere. Nick's career, which basically went nowhere except for the Slammer. And Hogan and Linda's, on and off relationship. It was just bad for Hogan. I think it was bad. It was just publicity for Hogan and everything. Trying to get Brooke, into the business and everything. It was just waste of time. Like 5 seasons of that was garbage. And then I think it was like a season or 2 of Brookie Knows Best. Showcasing Brooke and everything. With her stupid, boring music career and her ventures into, her as a virgin and then going out with random people and then, kissing everybody, and Hogan's like, oh, you don't know, brother. And then Brooke, like actually admitting she had sex with somebody. And then I think Hogan found out, like, what you do? what did you do, brother? You know, nobody fucks my daughter, brother. You know, I'm like, shut up, she's 18. You do whatever she wants, Hogan. Cherry. Let her do whatever the fuck she wants, she's 18. Who are you? You're so overprotective of your own daughter. I understand that, but she's 18. At the time, she was 18. Now she's better off. I think she's married to some football player. Had twins a few months ago. And then Hogan's with some chick that's like Brooke's age, basically. I bet you that chick's getting a mighty good dose of pythons, if you know what I mean. Not vitamin D. Steroids. That's what she's getting in her. But anyway, if that wasn't enough, Hogan goes on, I forgot what show he went on. And he's, talking he's talking around random shit. Talk about, scandals and all this other shit. He's talking about all the, the wrestlers about wrestling and everything. And he brings up Shelton Benjamin's name, and he fucks that up and calls Shelton Benjamin Shelton. And Shelton went berserk on X. And I'm like, this motherfucker can't even get anything right. I mean, seriously, Terry, Hogan, Bollea? Seriously, Hulk Hogan, are you that fucked up in the head? Is the steroids finally getting to your brain? Brother! How do you fuck Shelton Benjamin's name up? I mean, seriously. So anyway, let me read the story from Wrestling Inc. I know it's about a day or so ago. Former WWE star Hulk Hogan is coming to be known for his scandals and anything else. In his latest controversy, clips of Hogan mistakenly referring to AEW wrestler Shelton Benjamin as Benjamin Shelton resurfaced online, and Shelty Baby offered a heated response on X. He was pissed. He goes on X, and you can go on his X account. It's, let me get it. It's at Shelty B803 on X, and this is what he said. He said, message to @Hulk Hogan, you lost me forever with your don't get caught, or as you would call it, apology speech. So rather than screw up my name or pretend we ever had any sort of camaraderie, which we never had, please do me a favor. And then he puts up a meme of Will Smith when he had that whole thing with Chris Rock. Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth! That was a meme on his Twitter. It was great, and mad people were loving it. Anyway. So I mentioned that with the meme for the 2022 Academy Awards, where Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock about a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. So anyway, the apology that Benjamin was referring to was given by Hogan to the WWE locker room in 2018 when he was reinstated to the WWE Hall of Fame after the company removed him due to one of his biggest scandals to date, which was in 2015. Like I mentioned, with the racial slurs and shit. It was dropped by so many sponsors, so many business partners didn't want anything to do with him, including the WWE, and he had to do damage control, like I said. Has been a good, last 10, 15 years for the Hulkster. But anyway, the company decided to bring him back in the fold in 2018. Hogan addressed the roster before the announcement was made. He went in there and was like, I'm sorry for calling everybody the N-word, brother, You think anybody actually believed that shit? I was like, oh, we're gonna let it slide for now. But you're still a prick, And many, including Shelton Benjamin, felt that the backstage apology was basically bullshit. And even wrestlers such as Seth Rollins have continued to speak really bad about Hogan in recent years. And he was booed at the Netflix premiere in LA, January the 6th. Hogan's announced that he's starting a new freestyle wrestling promotion with friend and former WCW executive Eric Bischoff. And more details will be announced soon, with the promotion rumored to make its debut this August. And like I said, it ain't going nowhere. Alright, kind of like the XFL. How long did that last? And I know The Rock now is doing something with it. Did I go far? No. Even the UFL is garbage. I'm sorry. But, yeah. That's, pretty much it for that. I mean, not only is Hulk Hogan, he was one of the biggest fucking wrestlers in the 80s and most of the 90s. Not so much the 2000s when he came back to WWE. With his final WWE run, beating The Undertaker. Well, who did he beat for that title? Shoot, I forgot. Did he beat The Undertaker? I don't remember. I think Undertaker won it back from Hogan. I forget. But anyway, we had that. And that was it for Hogan's wrestling career. I know he had like a couple of matches in TNA which were really, really, really bad. Hogan, Flair, anyone in TNA, they were bleeding like bad grandpas fighting each other. It was just disgusting. Horrible. And then him and Bischoff almost killed TNA. Even though later on Dixie Carter almost killed it. And she had to be saved by her good friend, Billy Corgan, who then pretty much had no money left to even put keep the promotion going. And then Billy Corgan had to be saved by Anthem Sports, which now owns the company for the last 8 to almost 10 years now. I think it was about almost 10 years now. I mean, now TNA's going strong. It's been better than ever. Now they have that partnership with WWE, which I think is great for both companies. You know, we have Joe Hendry on both shows. We have like Rosemary on both shows. Well, obviously both shows. We have people from NXT coming up on TNA. TNA people coming up on NXT programming like Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel, Alex Hammerstone at one point. You know, lots of people. Frankie Kazarian. You know, Jordan Grace, who now is in WWE, NXT, I should say. You know, we had Dana Brooke at one point, but that was like one show. But in any case, I love the WWE NXT partnership. I love it. But, you know, as far as Hogan goes, I lost all respect for this guy. I really lost all respect for the guy that I grew up with. He is a big-time racist. He's a big-time fucking prima donna. Was Randy Savage going, "You're a prima donna, Hogan!" Yeah. Basically. You know, he just, everything he touches, basically he kills. His beer hasn't sold that much. Hasn't sold that well. Blah, 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 blah. And, this wrestling venture that's going to debut in August, I don't think it's going to get off the ground much. It's probably going to die out like the first season of the XFL. Well, the first 2 seasons of the first season of XFL, then it came back, and then died again, and then now The Rock owns it, and who knows, you know, it sucks too. I mean, Hogan just needs to shut his fucking mouth at times. You know, I know people hate him because of his alliance with Trump. And now he's like the director of sports or health, some shit like that. And people are still giving him grief over that. I mean, if he likes Trump, I mean, big fucking deal. I love Trump. You don't see people coming on my channels like, "Oh, you like Trump, you're a freaking, you know, piece of shit." I care less. I don't care. I mean, I don't care. I'm not about politics and everything. If I like Trump, I like Trump. Because I want America to change, and, you know, we're slowly getting there. In the first 5 months of this year since he's been president. You know, the stock market's kind of like up and down, like, bouncy, 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 up, down, like a dick in your mom's ass, but still. People hate fucking Trump because he's of what he did and all that shit. They convicted him of 33 counts of garbage. Did he go to jail? No. He got off for that shit. And now he's going after the people that they try to put him in jail. And half of them are pretty much gone. The dumb bitch from New York, Letitia James, is trying to, get at him again. Why? Don't know. Oh, because, he wants to cut Medicaid. He wants to cut Medicare. He's not cutting Medicare. He's not cutting all these programs. They're not cutting Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security and all that shit. They're not going to do that. They'd be too stupid to do that. He's just cleaning up the 4 years that dumb fuck Sleepy Joe Biden and his dumb bitch Vice President Kamala Harris fucked up. So he's cleaning up the mess they made. And Kamala Harris wants to run in 2028. Yeah, right. You think any real person is gonna vote for her this second time around? No. Because probably J.D. Vance will be the next president of the United States in the next 4 years, next 3.5 years. Because Trump, as much as Trump would love to have another, more time in the White House, I would love that too, but, can't do that. He's already been president, they're saying this is his second term, my ass. He had one term from 2016 to 2020, then from 2024 to 28. That's, really, that is 2 terms. Okay, I'll go with that. Alright, his second term, so he can't go another 4 years after this. Which technically he could, but, you know how the super constitution is. You can only go 2 terms as president. There was Franklin Delano Roosevelt went 12 years as president. 12 years, way back in the day. Until, I guess, after 12, we can't have this guy president anymore. He's like, 12 years already. Get somebody else. So they changed everything around. So you can only go 8 full years. If you get re-elected, that is. You can't be like FDR, elected. Or even get elected, go 8 years, and then you're done. And then come back, and come back in another 4 years. I'm president again, let's go another 8 years. Well, another 4 years. Yeah, and then Hogan wanted to be president. Remember that shit back in at the end of WCW where he was saying, I'm gonna run for president. Yeah, that worked out fine, right? It's like The Rock wanted to be president. That's not gonna work. On the show, he sort of, kind of becomes president. Like Rock as president, right? Gonna lay to smack it down on, all you prime ministers and all these other people. Stupid. But yeah, Hogan's fucking wrestling venture ain't going anywhere. This freestyle wrestling promotion ain't going anywhere. Because he's got so much competition. And this is freestyle wrestling, meaning, I would say collegiate wrestling, which is kind of like freestyle, not like MMA, which is basically nothing. But this ain't going nowhere. He's only trying to do it for the money because, he's got no money left. Basically, with all his alimony he probably owes to Linda. Who knows? And all the failed projects he's had. I wouldn't be surprised if Hogan Beach closes down in the next 4 or 5 years. And what's Hogan gonna do then? Hogan's 70-something years old anyway. He needs something to do. Besides, talking out his ass on radio shows, cursing everybody out, forgetting people's names and shit. I hate saying this, I really think the steroids have gotten way, they've gone to his head and his brain just turn to mush. I really think that. If I was Bischoff, and Bischoff's like 60-something, almost 70 years old, around that age too. If I'm Bischoff, I'm like, Terry, what are you thinking, man? You really think this is going to get off the ground? And Hogan's like, oh, we're Eazy-E, brother. I think this is going to be great. In the back of Bischoff's mind, he's like, oh, this is dumb. Another wrestling promotion. Oh, great. First of all, Hogan, you're not Tony Khan. You have a lot of money. And Tony Khan already 5 years of AEW and has been pretty, I'd say pretty good. The last year or two for AEW has been great. I mean, even last night's Dynamite wasn't great at all. It was just like, I mean, last week's show was good. This week, not even close. And we got Collision tonight, so who knows, maybe Collision is better than Dynamite tonight, like it was about a week or so ago. But, in any case, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think of this whole thing with Hogan and his wrestling venture, fucking up Shelton Benjamin's name. He even name dropped Brock Lesnar. And he said, I think he said, like, me and Brock, we wrestle a lot. What? You only wrestled once! 2002 and he fucked you up! How did what? Hogan's getting really fucking delusional now. How can you say that you faced Brock Lesnar a bunch of times? Bruh, I think it was only once that I know of in 2000 and not 2002. What did I say? 2002. It was like 2006, I think. And basically, you fucking got obliterated by Brock Lesnar. Obliterated. And then remember when Hogan was there? I think it was like for his birthday or some shit. And then, Mean Gene was there. Most of the NWO was there. Flair was there. I think Roddy Piper was there. A few other people of Hogan's crew was there. And then Brock and Paul Heyman come out, and Brock's like, "Party's over, Grandpa." And then really set Hogan off, and he didn't even do anything because he knows better. He knows Brock would have crippled him even more. Hogan can barely walk as it is because of his back. And he has so many freaking knee replacements. It's crazy. And hip replacements. The dude's a fucking cripple. Not the same Hogan we all know and love. And he wants to have one more match. Yeah, one more match. One more bump. Hogan takes one bump. He's done. He can't get up. Again, they need a forklift to get him out of the ring. I can't anymore. I can't anymore with Hulk Hogan. So the hulkster, I say I got two words for you, Hulk Hogan. Fuck you. And that's all I gotta say about that. If you ever see Shelton Benjamin or MVP or anybody else, again, I hope they beat the fuck out of you. No apologies this time, Hulk. No apologies. I don't even think you apologize to Shelton Benjamin for fucking his name up. You think Shelton Benjamin's gonna say, "Oh, we're gonna let that go"? No, MVP ain't. I'll tell you that much. MVP won't. And he's good friends with Shelton Benjamin. I think Bobby Lashley would fuck Hogan up. I think anybody can fuck Hogan up these days. I could probably. I don't care if you have 20, all your steroids and all that shit. You could be on steroids, I still kick your ass. But I digress on that. But anyway, I gotta get out of here. I got other things to do. So, I'll be back later tonight with your official AEW review. And then tomorrow we'll talk about Raw, we'll talk about Collision, and maybe if I get some time tomorrow, we'll talk about TNA Ring of Honor. Get you ready for SmackDown tomorrow night. And if not, we'll do SmackDown on Saturday. Early Saturday, because I do have to go out Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. I won't even be home till late Saturday night. And then pretty much Sunday is Mother's Day, so I won't be around anyway. So maybe early Sunday I might do something. I don't know yet, but we'll see how everything goes between tonight and through the weekend. But don't forget to hit that bell, so when I do a video, hopefully you'll get notified when I do it. If not, unsubscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe again, hit the bell again, and hopefully Neo and his team of monkeys that don't do anything for this godforsaken website sends my notifications out to you, so you know when I do a video and all that other good shit. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, and until next time, fucked up, as the Iron Sheik would say. Fuck the Hulk Hogan! I break his back! Fuck him in the ass and make him humble! Oh, I wish Iron Sheik, the Sheiky baby was alive today. I wish Iron Sheik was alive today. He would really roast Hulk Hogan. But sadly, he passed away a couple years ago. He's probably up in heaven saying the same thing. He's like, oh. Fuck the Hulk Hogan, Baba! Pretty much. Yeah, so, fuck Hulk Hogan. If anybody is actually supporting Hogan and all this shit, fuck you too. And that's that. That's my rant. In the can. It's legendary. And we'll see how it goes. Because everybody loves my rants. Even your mom does. But I digress on that. So let's make this one memorable. Fuck Hulk Hogan. Fuck everybody that actually still likes the guy. If you still like him, I mean, God bless you, but I would really consider, saying, cutting him off. Because right now, I can't support him in anything he does. Whatever he does now and in the future, I probably will not support him. I have lost all respect for the guy. How do you mess up Shelton Benjamin's name? I mean, seriously? Fucking idiot. And then name dropping Brock, saying, oh, I wrestled him 1,000 times. You only wrestled him once, and you got obliterated. You fucking old fuck. Go retire in Florida. Go hang out at your stupid beach bar with Jimmy Hart. Go sing garbage. Go hang out with Donald Trump. I mean, you can hang out with Donald Trump. That's a good thing, but I don't care about that. But just retire in Florida and just stay at your goddamn boring as fuck beach house. Not beach house. Hogan's Beach. You just hang out at Hogan's Beach for the rest of your fucking life. Nobody cares, Hulk. Nobody cares. Just randomly show up at your dumb restaurant. Everybody's like, oh, it's the Hulkster, dude. We're gonna sing karaoke with the Hulkster. Yeah, all you dumb fucks in Florida can go run to Hogan's Beach and have fun. Go support a fucking racist. Go ahead. See if I give a shit. I don't support anybody that's racist. I hate that shit. I never said the N-word in my life. Maybe once, but I was like many years ago. Well, I'm not a racist or anything like that, so. You think I am? Fuck you. Kiss my ass. And while you're at it, blow me. Because your moms and girlfriends be doing that every day, 24/7. They can't get enough of it. But I digress. So, but it is what it is. That's that. Alright. Thanks for watching, everybody. And until next time, peace.